Hey guys, how you doing? So I noticed that in buildings, specific buildings hold frequency and energy. And then within that building, like there'll be specific spots of specific energy, whether it be positive or negative. And if it's negative energy, usually it's a bit more chaotic and it's a bit more messy, or maybe something happens in that part of the building. There's always some sort of chaos or bullshit. And I'm just kind of watching from the sidelines a little bit right now. And what I'm noticing is that if you pay attention to your surroundings, you'll pick up on certain things, especially if you're intuitive. I speak to those right now that are intuitive, that have their gifts, that utilize their gifts without harming other people. But there are watchers, there are people that just observe, and then there are people that participate. There are people that like to take action and either transmute energy, or they want to kind of help the situation. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I noticed for the past, I don't know, 3 weeks or so, there's different areas in a specific building that I go to, and there's always something going on in that part of the building, or there's something that needs to be fixed or something like that. And then I thought about it, and we create our own reality. So when you have a collective group of people creating their reality, there's going to be some more dominant than others in that ability to co-create. And so it's kind of almost like a beehive effect, where one person's energy, regardless of whether it's like positive or negative, is going to consume the rest of the people around them, in the fact that they have like a huge influence on them. So if it's a negative energy, there needs to be a positive interference. There needs to be some form of transmutation. There needs to be taking the understanding of the situation, finding solutions or something like that. And if that doesn't happen, then the chaos continues in its cycles that it goes through. So people themselves have control over their thoughts. Even if we were indoctrinated, even if they have the matrix that we're fucking in right now, even if people want to control the narrative in a negative way because they're not coming from like a healed version of themselves, it depends on their ranking spiritually. It depends on how well they've developed their gifts. It depends on how well they've mastered themselves. And even in a negative sense, there are certain people that have mastered certain things about themselves so that they can kind of turn it in whatever favor they want to. And same goes with the positive too. There are certain people that are really good at transmuting negative energy, and they can change a situation very quickly, even if it's negative, by finding solutions, learning lessons, or whatever it is that they have to do. And if you've ever gone to a party, you walk in and the atmosphere is one way, but then you notice it shifts. Let's say it shifts to more positive, and you yourself have a positive mindset. You yourself could have a big influence on the people around you energetically. Your aura, if you want to call it, your vibrational frequency, your signature. You may be really good at transmuting energy, even if you're not aware of it fully. If you just go on a day-to-day basis and you are the type of person that likes to influence in a good way, or uplift, or you like to transmute negative energy, you could have that impact on a large group of people. It's the same with the negative too. So if you're just going through a place and you're just kind of watching it, you'll see the influence other people have over other people. You'll see who are like the instigators, or who are the ones that want to problem solve. You'll see who are the ones that watch and observe, and you yourself are observing at that time. And then you get to decide how you're going to participate in this group collective together. Hold on, I gotta wave this because it's on a timer. You know what? No. But that which is kept in the dark usually comes to light. So even if there's certain people that they may not even be trying to cause a problem, but let's say they're in a really negative state, or they have a lot going on and they may be keeping quiet to themselves, but they could be very powerful themselves with their gifts, and they don't realize that they are co-creating and manifesting maybe certain situations that have an impact on the people around them. And here's an example. So let's say 2 or 3 people go to an area and the vibrational frequency is pretty high. And then you notice that the area is more vibrant, more lively, maybe more organized or something like that. Or if you have a group of individuals that go to an area and let's say they're kind of like in the same vibrational frequency, but one's more so dominant over the other ones, but in a negative sense, then you'll notice the area around them because what's reflected from internal to external. It's fascinating if you sit down and take a minute to observe your surroundings and how people are interacting with each other. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because you ultimately get a choice of how you're going to influence other people. You can do it for positive or you could do it for negative. It ultimately comes down to what choices that you're making for yourself and how you're living your life and how you want to have an impact on other people. And you may not even be fully aware. You could just be going through it, minding your own business, doing your own thing. And let's say people gravitate towards you because you're very content and happy with yourself. You're in your own little space, your own bubble, and that energy is very potent and it's very attractive, and people gravitate to you. You could be in a more negative sense too, and maybe you start collecting people around you that are like-minded, and you all kind of bicker or complain or something like this. I remember I was like this in the previous situations that I was earlier in my life, that I was around like-minded individuals that instead of problem solutions, it was more just kind of, I don't want to say complaining, but just pointing out the facts as they are and not being satisfied or content or happy with them. And that being a cycle as well. Coming up out of that is making the changes for yourself first, and then implementing that into your daily life, and then also deciding that you are accountable for your own thoughts, your vibrational frequency, and how you affect other people. And usually authentic people are so busy doing their own thing, they don't give two F's about what other people think about them or how they feel about them, and they don't care whether they're validated, they don't care if they're invited in or kind of pushed off to the side. They're just kind of doing their own thing, and that energy in itself, authenticity, is very powerful because at that point you're able to live and co-create your reality without worrying about the people around you, so you're not heightening that negative energy. Same to go with the other side too, when it comes to certain people that want to engage and kind of feed that more shadow aspect of self. And it's not just with you, it's with the people that are around you too. And that, the whole group thing, the whole collective power put together creates like an energy in a space. So this could be a building, a house, you name it. This could be even outdoors too. There are certain things that happen within a group dynamic that create a certain kind of energy in different places. And yes, we are that powerful. You guys are very intelligent. You're very smart. You have the capacity to use your brain far beyond what was ever taught to us. And I do believe you're very intelligent and you understand how you have an impact on other people. Now, how you choose to react to knowing this is completely different than being a master of yourself and fully comprehending that you have an effect on people and then making certain choices based off that. So I don't know if this resonates with you. You're more than welcome to like, share, subscribe. It really does help this channel. I do appreciate it, whether you believe me or not. And it's not mandatory. You don't have to. But I've got plenty of other videos up there. Thank you to everybody that has subscribed, liked, or shared. Thank you for the comments and keeping them clean and respectful. Thank you for any donations, whether they be energetic or monetary. Remember to love you guys. Please do.